Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining this press conference, concluding the 7th meeting of the IOC Coordination Commission for the LA Olympic and Paralympic Games. Thanks for coming. For those in the room, I think we have about 40, 50 of you, about same number following online. Quite happy with the 3 days of productive meetings we had, so we will discuss those with you over the course of this press conference. We have on the IOC side with us today the chair of the IOC Coordination Commission, Nicole Hooverts, also LA28 Olympian, I always like to remember. Christophe Duby, IOC Olympic Games Executive Director. On the LA28 side, Casey Wasserman, Chairperson and President of the Organizing Committee, and Rainer Hoover, Chief Executive Officer. Without further ado, I will pass the floor to Nicole for her introductory remarks.
Thank you, Bernardo, and thank you, everybody, for being here this afternoon with us. Ever since I entered the Olympic Village here in 1984, for one of the greatest adventures in my youth, returning to Los Angeles every single time holds a very special feeling for me. Coming back here a few months ago with my brother to enjoy a concert of Dudamel at the LA Philharmonic made that feeling even stronger. I visited the USC campus, which in 1984, as you know, had been transformed into the Olympic Village for the LA 1984 Olympic Games. And even after all these years, I could still recognize the landmarks that framed that particular moment in time. Standing by the pool again was, in a sense, surreal. I could almost hear the music and the cheers from the stands. The fact that USC will host parts of the Games again in 2028 says something important about Los Angeles. This is a city that can honor its history while keeping its eyes firmly on the future. In many ways, that is also what we do when the IOC Coordination Commission comes to visit. We look at what has been achieved, and we use that progress to shape what still lies ahead. And the progress that we have seen so far gives us, and I want to emphasize this, every confidence that the next 2 years will put us on course for another memorable edition of the Olympic Games. Every time we meet with LA28, we are reminded of the quality, the commitment, and the professionalism of the people working behind the scenes to bring these games to life. With each visit, more progress is visible. More detail is in place, and more of the project is moving from concept and planning into concrete operational delivery. Casey will shortly walk you through the key achievements, but I would be remiss not to point to some of the extraordinary engagement and excitement already building about this project. And I'll share a few data with you. 4 million tickets have already been sold in the first ticket drop. Nearly 300,000 people have expressed interest in volunteering. And more than 1 million kids of this beautiful city have registered for sport activities through the Play LA community program, almost half of them being girls. And as we move closer to 2028, the work is naturally becoming more specific and more complex. And that is exactly what you would expect at this stage in the Games life cycle. The discussions are no longer about ambition, about direction, or broad concepts. They are now about delivery models, operational choices, priorities, and timelines. They are about turning plans into solutions that are realistic, integrated, and deliverable. In simple terms, It is about bringing planning to a level where it can be tested properly, so that teams are ready when the time comes in 2028. What is especially encouraging is that we are now beginning to see a real glimpse of what these games will look and feel like in 2028. We are starting to understand how fans will experience these games. For many, as a once-in-a-lifetime moment, and for some, like me, with a connection to 1984, perhaps as a second-in-a-lifetime experience. You only need to speak to a few people here to realize how deeply the Olympic Games are woven into the fabric of this city. It is fitting, perhaps, that we are gathered just a few meters from Olympic Boulevard. It is easy to find fans, spectators, and even Olympians whose passion for the Games was shaped by LA84, and who now see LA28 through that same special lens. The Cultural Olympiad also has the potential to showcase the full creativity and diversity of this city, while excitement is also growing and building around the torch relay and the ceremonies as defining moments of these games. Our objective as a coordination commission is to support LA28 and to work together to ensure that a new generation is inspired by the 2028 Games and carries the Olympic spirit forward in the same way that happened with the 1984 Games. And with that, I'm very pleased to pass the floor, Casey, to you.
Thank you all for being here. On behalf of LA28, Reynold, and our entire team, I want to thank Nicole, Christoph, and to every member of the IOC Coordination Commission for your partnership, your guidance, and your commitment to these games. This is a significant moment. Milano Cortina has passed the torch, and LA28 is next. When the Coordination Commission met last year, the Games were more than 3 years out. We were talking about the foundation being laid, the momentum building, the plans taking shape. Now, the foundation is in place. The momentum is real, and our transition from planning to readiness is in effect. This shift is a marker of how far we've come and how ready we are. The 7th LA28 Coordination Commission meeting has accomplished a lot in the last 3 days. In just 771 days, we will welcome the world to Los Angeles. We will light the Olympic and Paralympic flames, and the greatest athletes on earth will compete. Billions of people will watch as Los Angeles shows them exactly who we are, and together we will witness extraordinary feats of human triumph. At LA28, we are ready for that moment. The full picture of our preparation is strong and impressive. There are now millions of people who are engaged in the Games. As Nicole mentioned, we launched our global ticket sales this year, selling over 4 million tickets to fans across 85 countries in every of the 50 United States, the most successful Olympic ticket launch in history. We also made good on our promise to LA and Oklahoma City communities with our locals pre-sales, putting 500,000 tickets at only $28 into the hands of Angelinos and Oklahomans before a single ticket was offered to the rest of the world. And with the launch of our community ticketing program with a $5 million donation from the Rams, we will make sure that more and more tickets are in the hands of those in and around the Games and their venues who otherwise wouldn't be able to attend the Games. Our commercial program has now surpassed $2 billion in contracted revenue, a historic milestone that reflects the confidence the world's leading brands have placed in these Games. We also launched the LA28 Cultural Olympiad last month, a program that will elevate the many world-class cultural organizations already here. Spanning fashion, film, food, music, performance, and visual art, it is a cultural Olympiad built by the city, for the city, and shared with the world. As Nicole also said, we have our LA28 volunteer program presented by Delta Airlines, hosting more than 20 volunteer opportunities already in LA, cleaning beaches, streets, and trails, restoring natural habitats, and packaging fresh food for those in need, with many more Games time roles to come this summer. And we finalized our games plan for both the Olympic and the Paralympic Games. The full Olympic and Paralympic competition schedules by day, session, event are now public. We announced our 6 soccer cities to host preliminaries, bringing the excitement of the games to communities around the country. And we published our impact and sustainability plan and launched our Resilient Champions Fund, supporting local nonprofits, advancing wildfire resilience and nature restoration, ocean protection, and cooling solutions across Los Angeles. The accomplishments of the past year have validated everything we have been building towards, and we are just getting started. We have an extraordinary team, we have extraordinary partners, and we have the IOC, represented by this Coordination Commission, whose guidance, expertise, and commitment to the Olympic movement at every stage had made us sharper, more focused, and more prepared. 771 days, the world is watching, and we are ready. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Casey and Nicole. Before we open for questions, just want to take you through some housekeeping. For those in the room, just ask you to raise your hand if you want to ask a question, and state your name and publication or media you're representing. For the online attendees, we also request to use there's a raise your hand function in the webinar. If you're next in line to ask a question, you will receive a request to become a panelist. Please make sure you accept the invitation to be able to ask your question directly with your camera and your microphone on. We will get through and try to get through as many questions as possible in the allotted time. To do that, I invite you to focus on the preparations for LA28, which is the topic of the discussions we had. I'm Bernardo Dominguez. I'm the head of Olympic Games Communication at the IOC. Happy to take questions afterwards if you have other questions on IOC topics. I'll have my colleague, JC Prieto Lopez, Vice President of Communication at LA28, to manage the Q&A. So, JC, over to you.
Thank you, Bernardo. Would like to ask a question? Tim?
I'm Tim Ginsky, and I write about the Olympics for Forbes. And I wanted to direct this question to Nicole. Nicole, I came here in 1984, and I never went back to where I came from. I stayed. So I've been here a long time, and using an educational metaphor, my question is, 2 years from now, LA28 has our final exam, and I know they're going to ace it. But this was the midterm this week, and I wanted you to talk about benchmarking where the committee's at versus other previous Olympic committees. How are they doing?
Thank you for that question, Jim. And were you sending a message to me that maybe I might be staying here in Los Angeles as well? Well, I come from a beautiful island myself, so I would like to go back. No, definitely. Every time that I come to the city, I'm amazed. I'm amazed by the progress, and I have to say, and I'm sure that Christoph agrees with me, this was the 7th time that we had a COCOM meeting in the city of LA. And I think I can, with every confidence, say that this was the best COCOM ever. I mean, the team that these two gentlemen on my right have assembled is a fabulous team. A team of very young, dynamic, very passionate, very knowledgeable, very trained people who know what they're doing. So this coordination commission gives us great confidence. The team is ready. The games are on track. And the games are in the safe hands of a very qualified and a very capable team. So we did a lot of work. The days were long. We did, since last year, if I'm not mistaken, we changed from a more plenary format of having these meetings to more working groups, and that has been working very well. We had 7 groups of different topics that needed our attention, and I was very happy to say, and I repeat it here, I said it this morning at our closing meetings, I'm very confident that we're on the right track and the team is doing great. You want to add to that, Christoph? Yeah.
Team, if we come there, you know what? Better. Better than anything before. Yeah. One of the reasons is you had a longer runway, okay? That's one. But we have raised more money. We have reached out to possibly the largest pool of volunteers ever. We have more precision in planning. We have more stars in the eyes because when you project yourselves and what we've seen on anything that will be offered to the fans, nothing like it before. Yeah. At 2 years out, where we are today, we've not seen that before. Yeah. So it's a credit to the team here, yeah. And amazing support as well by this market. You know, yeah. This is very unique. Paris offered something extraordinary. Here you have a market that is amazing. And when you organize an event like this one, you have the best operators, you have the best venues, and you have the most creative industry around. Really, when you're sitting in a commission 2 years out, you can only feel great confidence.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tim. Next question. Lady in the blue dress.
Sure. Thank you so much. Rachel with Fox 11 Los Angeles. There's been some concern from taxpayers that LA taxpayers would be absorbing potentially the cost of some of these games, particularly as it comes to security costs and unforeseen events. Is there anything you can say today to relieve those concerns that they'll be absorbing the costs come 2028?
Yeah, thank you for the question. We have been very clear since day one that we are operating a break-even budget as our goal with significant contingency built in. Those numbers have not changed. As Christophe pointed out, we've got a lot more clarity and fidelity on our revenue, which should give everybody the confidence that we will deliver against that. And the federal government, at every step of the way, has provided us the funding we need to reimburse local security operations, transportation, all of the deliverables rely on the federal government. And so of the concerns that they may have, I don't think those are founded in the reality that we've delivered against in relation with the federal government and the needs we have.
Thank you for your question, Rachel. Lolita, did you want to ask a question? I saw your hand up.
Lolita Lopez with NBC Channel 4 here locally in Los Angeles. So two-parter, one for the IOC and then one for our organizing committee. One is in terms to get to readiness. You did discuss more money, more volunteers. What kind of things are you looking for to get to the next part of this stage in terms of venues, fan experience, that kind of thing? Any details you can give to that? And on the, maybe both can answer, but we are in a state that's about to elect a new governor. We're in a city that's about to elect perhaps a new mayor, perhaps the same mayor. How does that play into all of this as well?
So if I can start out the answer to that question, and thank you for being here, Lolita. It's always great to see all of you here. But in this case, we are talking about venues, and we have, not on this occasion, although last night we were at the LA Zoo and we were at the Griffith Observatory, those are going to be venues as well for the games, and that gives us great confidence as well. But something that makes me very, very happy and very confident is the high level of the venues. These venue operators know how to organize and how to deliver games. So when we talk about no construction, it doesn't mean that everything is automatically ready, but these people know what they're doing, so we're confident about that. The planning, and Christophe alluded to that, the planning is very careful. It's very deliberate, it's very detailed, and we look into those planning sessions and everything, and we are confident that they are right on track. So no concern in our minds. Christophe?
Yeah, Lolita, I think that the name of the games when you're 2 years out is clarity of purpose, and that we have. Yeah. And now what remains to be done is roll the sleeves even higher, because it's all about detail. It's one thing to have the picture clear, and they do, including, by the way, in fans' experience, they're doing what they call journeys by stakeholder groups, okay? And it's going very, very deep in capillarity. And it's not only games time, it's anything prior to the games. The one thing, though, in both the plans to deliver brick and mortar, or in that case, more of the overlay and cabling and everything that allows you to work, that is detailed. It's intense, it's volume, and it's more detail and details. And on the other side, anything that is consumable, it's the clarity of purpose and what you want to leave as an impression to any stakeholder group. And here they have clarified who's responsible for which group, what we want to leave as an impression. And now again, it's to go down to the details of this journey from before to after the games. Very, very well done.
And when it comes to politics, let me just say that for LA28 and for myself and a few of the OGs in the room, we're on our 4th presidential administration. So transitions of politics, whether they happen or not, is part of the world we live in, and we have been able to and expect to fully continue to have great relationships with local, state, and federal partners. It can't be dependent on the person there. It has to be dependent on the relationship and the connectivity we have, and our team has done a great job of maintaining that. And so the elections will be what they may, but we will continue to have the relationships at the working level with the teams, and whoever is in the offices we need to deal with, I have no doubt they see the power of the Olympic Games in the city, in the state, and in this country.
Can I just add a couple of things that you want to look forward to? So, you know, this summer, we already saw the look of the games that was released in March, and that was incredible, and you see it around the room, and our colors and how the games are going to come to life. That's already happened. But this summer, we'll host the world broadcasters who will come here to LA for the first time to really get a glimpse inside what we're doing and how we're doing it, and talking to them about their role in telling the message about LA and about the games and all that's going on. And then just look ahead to next year. Our Paralympic tickets are going to go on sale. The mascot will be revealed sometime in 2027. Our torch relay route will be revealed, and the torch design will be revealed in 2027. So there is a whole lot of really great things that are coming as we look ahead to the future beyond just what you've heard here.
We're now going to take some online questions. Ashish Sharma with Sport Intern.
Yep.
Let's just give it a minute to connect.
You would take one from the floor?
Scott?
Okay, we'll take another question here. Scott?
Sorry. Nicole, I'm sure you're aware there's some frustration on the part of the City Council with LA28. How concerning is that for you? And did you have a chance to meet with some of the council members while you were here? And Renaud, a couple weeks, I guess in April, you were asked about the 24%. What part of that goes back to LA28? I was wondering if you have an exact figure on that. Thank you.
I think that it will not surprise you to know that we respect the local structures and the city council for what they have to do. We work together, and we have close contact with Paul Krikorian. He was with us on more than one occasion during this week. And we keep a very open communication with them and to understand where their frustration is. But on the other hand, we know that this is the local politics, and we look forward to organizing the Olympic Games for the whole world. So we leave that and we listen to LA28 on how they inform us and their guidance in this regard. But we will, of course, not get involved in that local politics, because that is something that we cannot get involved in.
I'll just say, first of all, we have a great relationship with the city and the city council. Joanne Kim from the council president's office was here with us for opening session. She's been at our events in the evening. Our relationship with the city is really great, and we meet with them on a weekly basis. Our teams are meeting, and Paul Krikorian's been a great partner with us as we go through the Office of Major Events. So I'm not concerned about the state of our relationship with the city, and they know that they are a partner with us. With regard to the ticket, to the service fee, look, we have a contractual agreement with our providers, and so I can't disclose all of the details to it, but I think our ticket fee, and Casey may have some thoughts on it as well, but our ticket fee is consistent with industry standards. We're not hiding anything. When you check out, you see all of the fees that are applied to the particular ticket. So I don't know if Casey, you have a...
I think that covers it. Yeah.
All right, next question. See? Go ahead, Libby.
Hi, Libby Rainey with LAist. Sort of a follow-up on what Scott was asking. I wanted to ask about the status of the city services agreement with the city, due October 1st, where it's June now. Curious what the holdup is, because we haven't really gotten anything specific from LA28 on what is keeping it from being done. And then second part is, I'm curious, how late like, when is the actual deadline in your minds for getting that agreement done? I understand it sort of sets the terms for agreements with other cities and with venues. So at what point is that agreement being delayed going to slow down other progress that you need to make to put on the Olympics?
Yeah, I'll say, I wouldn't characterize it as delayed, and I wouldn't characterize it as late. We are in really good conversations with the city about the ECRMA. We will reach agreement. I'm very confident of that. I think we're really close, and I don't think it's anything that we're holding up, and I don't think it's anything the city is holding up. The city's got a lot of things going on as well, then beyond just the Olympics that are coming in 2028. And so we respect that, and we're having a healthy dialogue with members of the city council as well as, our city family on it, and I think you'll see something moving pretty soon.
Rory, I saw your hand up. Did you want to ask a question next?
Thanks. Just a quick one for Casey. Just wondering, it sounds like you have no plans to step down from the board or anything like that. Was there anything you ever considered? And then have you talked to Mayor Bass since, she made her remarks?
No and yes.
Okay. Next question. Tukni, did you want to go ahead and ask the next question?
Casey, Tukni Nguyen with the LA Times. Good to see you. Casey, just to follow up on Rory's question, what were kind of the natures of those discussions with Mayor Bass, if you can share, and also one for Reynold. Obviously, you mentioned the things coming to LA. The World Cup is coming up in a week-ish. What are you kind of observing from some of those operations, and what are some of the lessons you guys can learn as the Olympics come for you guys?
Thanks. I talk to the mayor weekly, if not more frequently, and our conversations are between us. They continue to be thoughtful and productive with a completely shared vision on delivering the greatest games for the city and our community.
Yeah, and I think, look, the World Cup is a great opportunity for the city and to again shine. It is a tremendous opportunity for all of us, and we're taking some great lessons learned. So, for example, we're looking at their transportation and how they're moving fans and spectators around. We're looking at security and security planning. But recognize that World Cup is an entirely different model and size and scope and scale than from what we're putting on. And so, we take that, we have to kind of size up and scale what lessons we're learning from them, but we're in close coordination with them all the time, and we're looking forward to World Cup coming.
We're going to go online once again. Tracy Holmes from Sports Ambassador Podcast.
You're on mute, Tracy.
You can hear me now?
There you go.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for taking my question. And it was a follow-up about this coordination or observation or communication with FIFA and the World Cup. I was surprised to learn with FIFA that there's no kind of handover from one host to the next, I guess because it's so different in its scale. But not only what you're learning from them, but are they learning something from you? And I just wonder how you can strategize or detail a little bit more, particularly with regard to security, because the geopolitical pressures of the world will continue to change, and I guess that makes it very fluid. So how much can you learn? And how much can they learn from you, especially from the IOC?
Yeah, thanks for that question. Look, at the top, let me just say that, we are uniquely different than World Cup in that our security arrangements, we're a national special security event. So in January of 2024, we were designated an NSSE. Here in Los Angeles and most of the World Cup venues around the country are not NSSE events. And because we're an NSSE event, the authorities around what the federal government can do and can't do, how security is looked at across the federal government, and how locals interact with that are really an entirely different model led by the Secret Service. And so it's a different So while there are lessons to be learned and we coordinate with them and our teams, talk on a pretty regular basis, I think the bigger question, and I'll pass a little bit over here to the IOC about this as well, is the lessons learned I take from Etienne, who did Paris 24, from Andrea, who did Milano Cortina. I pass those things along to, our friends in Utah who are looking at Utah 34 already and how they're thinking about organizing, to Cindy Hook at Brisbane for Brisbane 32 for the Summer Games. That's the lessons learned that we work on. In fact, the Team Utah was here just like 2 weeks ago for an information exchange. And I know the IOC, and this is where I will pass it down to Christoph, but the IOC is working on that knowledge transfer and leader development across the OCOGs, which is really critical for all of us.
Yeah, you're right, and we're trying to do that in a very structured way, and each and every time we have delivered the games, we try to learn as much as possible and transfer to the next. But it involves the international federations, and it gives me the opportunity to thank here Andrea Zaglis from FIBA, who's with us, our sport director as well, Pierre Ducret, and of course in all of this, all the international federations, including FIFA, they are fully embedded and involved. Yeah. What we have to remind ourselves, though, is that the operating model of FIFA is different than ours. They have an organizing committee and deliver the whole spiel, which is not the same between the IOC and an organizing committee. So there are so many things we can transfer, but not that much in the end. However, every time FIFA would have an advice on how we can help to better the tournament at the time of the games, we will listen, of course. Every time we have observations to make to FIFA or any other federations, we will do as well. But when it comes to the RETEX, return on experience from any edition of the games, this is the only way to simplify the next ones, iron out the details, and make them better.
Okay, last question here. Gentleman in the blue.
Hi, thank you. My name is Max Haupt. I'm with the German Newswire DPA. There's been reports that Scottish soccer fans had their ESTA revoked after they'd been approved, and I was wondering how you think that will reflect on the U.S. hospitality towards fans from around the world and people interested in buying tickets for the LA28 games.
Yeah, so look, as a starting point, the use cases of the World Cup and the Olympics are different, right? We are preparing to host every country on earth. And so our mindset around visas has been deeply engaged with both Homeland Security and the State Department because of the complexity of that, right? This is a unique, complex time for Iran and the World Cup. Iran was always coming to the Olympics. North Korea is coming to the Olympics. You know, it may be that Russia and Belarus are coming back to the Olympics. So visas for countries where we don't have diplomatic relations has been part of our game plan since 2017. We've been deeply engaged with the State Department to be ahead of that, and I feel incredibly confident that we will deliver against that for all of the cohorts from all those countries, not just athletes, but officials, fans, press, you know, political figures and the sort. And so different perspective for us and something that we've been planning for a long time. This is a sort of a different use case for FIFA. And, you know, I would say we have seen no effect on anything related to the business of the Olympics in Los Angeles in any regard. Our metrics have been far in excess of what we expected, and the interest in every line item of our business continues to be incredible, and I have no doubt that's going to continue.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We're now going to set up the photo op. So if you want to get your cameras ready.
Are these on the ground, or?
We'll take care of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've seen each other. It's about time. Okay.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2.